أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن استنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers. Alhamdulillah, we start by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we send our salam and salawat on Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Alhamdulillah, we have passed through a very blessed month of Ramadan. May Allah accept all our deeds, all our actions, all our dua that we have done in the month of Ramadan. And inshallah ta'ala, Allah give us opportunity again and again to go through this blessed month. Because of the Ramadan, we had we stopped our all kind of lectures in the morning and also in the Friday evening. So inshallah ta'ala, we are resuming all this again. Before the Ramadan, we finished till our journey up to the Surah Al-An'am, the Surah number 6. We finished Surah number 6. We started this journey almost probably 2 years back. So we went through all the previous surah, which are the larger surahs of the Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, Surah Ali Imran, and Nisa, and Ma'idah, and also Anam. Inshallah ta'ala, today we are starting another interesting, a very, very powerful surah of the Quran, Surah Al-Aaraf. So before we begin, we'll talk about a little bit about the summary of the surah. Then inshallah ta'ala, as we always do, we'll go through ayah by ayah. Maybe inshallah ta'ala, we'll do 10 ayah today, and then from this one we'll go as we pass through the surah. So Surah Al-Aaraf is another Makki surah. So after Surah Fatiha, we have done 4 large surah of Madani surah, and we said like both of those are like pair surah. So Surah Baqarah and Ali Imran is a pair surah, and also Surah Nisa and Surah Ma'idah was a pair surah. So there's a complement to each other. Then we said there are 2 big Makki surah, and these are the 2 surah. One of them we finished already, Surah Al-An'am, and this is Surah Al-Aaraf. After this one, we'll again go back to the Medina phase. After Surah Al-Aaraf is finished, we'll go for sometimes another 2 surah for the Medinan phase, and after that 2 surah, there will be a long journey of Makki surah. As you all know, the Quran, 2/3 of the Quran is full of Makki surah. And by Makki surah, it doesn't mean it's revealed in Makkah only. The scholar has divided based on the hijrah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Any surah that revealed before the hijrah, it is a Makki surah. It could be revealed in Taif, it could be revealed close by to somewhere Makkah, and any surah that has been revealed after the hijrah is called Madani surah. So inshallah ta'ala, in Surah Al-Aaraf, there are some unique qualities of this surah. Number 1, as I said, this is a pair surah of Surah Al-An'am. So Surah Al-An'am, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called the people of the Quraysh, because it's a Makki surah, it's toward the end of the Makkan life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them a lot of positive vibes, meaning, come to Islam because you will get Jannah for this, basically. And it come to Islam, I have created so many things for you. So Allah tried to show His creation, His miracles, His ayahs around the people, and trying to call them. This surah has a different tone. This surah more like a warning to the people, and it will talk more about the thing that if you don't follow this, what I have said in Surah Al-An'am, if you don't follow those things, this is going to happen to you, just like it happened with the previous nation. So you will find the stories of the previous nation in this surah a lot, especially about six prophets or messengers, as you can say. Out of the 6, these are the 6 prophets that have been most talked about in the surah, except for Musa alayhi salam. Musa alayhi salam has a separate category. This 6 prophet starts from Nuh, and after Nuh there's Hud, and then after Hud is Saleh. And then after that, in the middle is Ibrahim alayhi salam. And after Ibrahim alayhi salam, there's 2 other prophets. One of them is obviously his cousin, Lut alayhi salam, and also another one is Shu'aib alayhi salam, who is in Madian. So before Ibrahim alayhi salam, there's 3 prophets, and then Ibrahim alayhi salam and 2 prophets. The story of Ibrahim alayhi salam we already talked about in the previous surah. How he tried to recognize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by looking at the stars, by looking at the moon, by looking at the sun, and how he argued with his people, because he was one of the most smartest person Allah has ever created, the Ibrahim alayhi salam, and he has his own logic to prove the tawheed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then in this surah, as I mentioned, it will be talked about the other nations of Nuh alayhi salam, and Nuh alayhi salam has been talked all over the Quran in different places, but this surah also has this one, and the other prophet that I mentioned. Also, another unique thing, this is the first surah in the Quran chronologically has the ayah of sujood. When you do Tarabi, we do sujud, tilawat sujud. So in the ayah number, last ayah of this surah, so ayah number 206 has the ayat of sujud. Before this, chronologically, I mean, there's no sujda in Surah Al-Baqarah, Surah Al-Ma'idah, Surah Al Imran, no sujda tilawat, but this is the surah has this one. Also, another unique thing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the story of Adam and the Iblis and his Adam's wife Hawa, all the creation, story of the creation, angels prostrating to Adam alayhi salam, Iblis don't deny the the commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All this has been mentioned in the Quran 7 times, and these 7 times also divided in a proper way. The first time it is mentioned in which surah? Who can say that? Surah Al-Baqarah. Which ayah? Can you say? The brother Shafiq is here. If you can say which ayah it starts, you will get $5 or maybe $10, $100, no problem. Surah Baqarah, which ayah? Start the story of Adam. Ayah number 30. Okay, ayah number 30. So that is one place Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks. So there's no talking of Adam alayhi salam and the Iblis and the rest of the place. Now you again find this one, and you will find the story again in Surah Al-Kahf again. When you go to the Surah Al-Kahf, you will find part of that. Anyway, so this surah will start with the creation of Adam and the story of Adam and Iblis as we'll go through. So inshallah ta'ala, with further ado, we'll go ahead inshallah ta'ala. Another announcement, like a quick thing. Some of the brothers suggested that because we have a better place outside and in the morning time, the sisters are not there, so we can do this talk in the other place, in the other room. So inshallah ta'ala, from tomorrow maybe we'll arrange these things in the other side of the masjid, because the projector is new, the screen is new. Inshallah we should use that, as we have used all the brothers' money to put these facilities. So maybe after the Fajr prayer, we'll go, whoever is interested, we can go to the other side and we'll do the talk inshallah ta'ala there. And if any sisters is there in the Fajr time, they can also sit down behind the curtain and they can also listen to us inshallah ta'ala. So that is one of the reasons. So inshallah ta'ala we'll start. We'll do only 10 ayahs today. So this is start with Alif Lam Sad. As you know, these are the things as we found 2 times before in Surah Al-Baqarah, Alif Lam Mim, and also we found in Surah Al-Imran. These things are called Hurful Muaqqata. Hurful Muaqqata. The letters of Muaqqata means it's something that we don't know the meaning of it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. And 29 surahs has this starting point. So there are 29 surah which starts with this Hurful Muaqqata. So this is one of the surah. And then Allah says, this book is revealed to you, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So let there not be in your breast distress therefrom. Meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to Rasulullah, this book is not to give you uncomfortness in your heart. Okay, it should be give you peace in your heart. So don't be distressed. Why he's saying this? Because obviously Rasulullah is always impatient, and he's always eager for his own people, for his uncles, for his relatives who are not accepting the dawah of Islam. So so that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, so don't be distressed from this book. Read that this book is for you to warn thereby as a reminder to the believers. So it's a reminder for the believers. The Quran is a reminder for the believers. And then the third ayah, Allah is talking to us, basically to all the mankind. Allah is saying, follow what has been revealed to you from your Lord, and do not follow other than Him any allies. Little do you remember. Qalilan ma tadhakkarun, meaning little do you remember. So this is a reminder for you. And we should follow nothing but this one, because this is from our Lord Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But very little we remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All this reminder, but this is the fact. As we all know, day by day, people are going away from the Quran. Very little that we remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His book. Then Allah is saying, and how many cities have we destroyed? So as I said, this surah will deal more with these things. Have we destroyed, and our punishment came to them at night or while they were sleeping at noon. Okay, so the word here, Ka'ilun, actually basically this word you will never find in any other surah. This is a unique word. Some of the surah has unique word, and if you learn this word, you learn a word from the Quran. Okay, so Ka'ilun is as they say in a different word, it's called Kailula. Kailula means taking a nap in the afternoon, just at the noon time actually. And Prophet Muhammad Sunnah, he used to take a kailula, because it was very hot at that time in the desert. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, when they are very resting time, even at that time, my punishment came to them because they disobeyed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The next ayah, and their declaration when our punishment came to them was only that they said, indeed we are wrongdoers. So when the punishment came to the previous people, the only thing they agreed that yes, we are zalimin, and this is why the punishment came to us. So this has happened before, and then we will surely question those whom was sent, and we will surely question the messenger. Meaning on the day of judgment, whenever Allah said the ayah of warning, Allah giving some warning, obviously Allah will talk about the past, and also Allah will talk at the same time in the future, in the day of judgment. What's going to happen to the day of judgment if you don't listen to them? Or what's going to happen to those people who denied the prophets before? So Allah is saying, in the day of judgment, I will question each of these people who I send a Rasul. And this is another point we should know, that sometimes we ask what will happen to those people where there is no messenger was sent. They don't know about Islam. There's no prophet, maybe in the Amazon forest, or some tribes, or some in the cave people, or whatever going to happen. So Allah is saying clearly, I will only question those who have I given the message to. And for those people, there's a different thing. We'll talk about it later. The people who have never heard the message of Islam. And then Allah said, then we will surely relate to them with knowledge. We were not at all absent. Meaning, Allah is saying here that when they're going to be asked in the day of judgment, I will present my topic, I present my questionnaires with knowledge. Knowledge here means with documentation. So you'll have video footage, you have the writing and everything. You can't deny any fact. Every deed will be shown in front of you with proper knowledge, and Allah will say, I was never ghaib. Meaning here the ghaib, obviously Allah is in unseen, okay? But here ghaib means absent. Meaning Allah is always present. He knows what we are doing, and we will know that in the day of judgment. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, and the weighing, وَخَفَّتْ مَوَازِينُهُ, on Surah Al-Qariya, we will know this word, خَفَّتْ مَوَازِينُهُ, So Allah is saying the weighing of that day will be the truth. The measurement, the mizan will be the truth. So those whose scales are heavy, it will be they will be the muflihun, they will be the successful. As you all understand that, the good scale will be. And also Allah said, not scale, it says scales. It is a plural number, okay? So every job, every deed we did probably has a scale. And that's the scholar said, it's not one scale, it's not one mizan. So your salah will have a own scale. How much salah you did, how perfect was it? Your siyam has its own scale. Your charity has its own scale. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, whatever scale is that, if your scale is heavy, then you will be successful. And those whose scales are light, they are ones who will lose themselves for what injustice they were doing towards our verses. Meaning, the people who have the light scales, they obviously will be the khasirun, meaning the loser. Why they will be the loser? Because they have done injustice to the ayah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Meaning, not ayah means the Quranic ayah only, all the signs that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us everything. And the next ayah actually say that one, we have certainly established you people upon the earth and made therein ways livelihood. This livelihood, this world that Allah made for us, where we are taking oxygen, giving carbon dioxide, we have the sunlight, we have the rain, we have the river, we have water, we have food. Everything is ayah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah saying, I have established all this for you so that you can have a livelihood. And the word, Arabic word livelihood is Aisha. Aisha comes from the word, even the Urdu word we say Aish, meaning like, we say something, we have a lot of Aish, meaning a lot of comfort. So this world is full of comfort actually. And Allah made this comfort for us. But little are you grateful, and so kalilam ma tashkurun. Allah saying that at one place Allah said kalilam ma tazakkarun, very little we remember. Because we remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala very little, then Allah said kalilam ma tashkurun. Also we are very little, we are grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So inshallah ta'ala we finish the 10 ayah here, and from the ayah 11, as I mentioned, it will be the story of Adam and Iblis for some times, and then we'll go to the other prophet's story. Jazakallah khairan, subhanakallahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.